he will see. It's not even the strength that I carry, it's the brain. I'll process what I need to process, I'll do what I need to do.
This is a 34-year-old Anthony Joshua. This is a terrifying human being. Terrifying.
Anthony Joshua has dropped a cold and devastating warning after seeing Jake Paul's latest training footage, and the boxing world felt the earthquake. Joshua made it brutally clear there will be no mercy, no hesitation, and no second chances once Jake steps into the ring. After watching the clips, his reaction wasn't praise. It was a promise.
Just not just 6'6", but 6'6", and knows how to use every fucking inch of it. Knows how to keep that stick in your face. He was keep that jab in his face, and that right hand, if it hits you, you're fucked. And
the moment Joshua reacted to Jake Paul's new training video, conversations across boxing stopped instantly. People expected Joshua to laugh, dismiss it, or ignore it entirely. Instead, he watched the footage with a silent, surgical focus. Insiders present in the room said he didn't flinch once. No smirk, no surprise. Just a calm that felt far more dangerous than any trash talk.
He's not going to come in drained. What he's going to do is just do extra cardio, and that's just going to make him more dangerous. He's going to be terrifying, and he's going to have a lot to prove. He's going to be very angry that Jake Paul wants to fight him.
Then came the line that spread across every platform within minutes. There will be no mercy for Jake Paul this time. It wasn't loud, it wasn't dramatic. It was delivered with the certainty only a veteran heavyweight can carry. And that tone is what made it chilling. Joshua wasn't hyping a fight. He was outlining a punishment. Jake's training clip may have impressed casual fans with flashy edits and slow-motion power shots, but experts saw something very different. Slow timing, loose footwork, and someone trying to imitate a heavyweight rather than train like one. For privately, Joshua's camp didn't hide their reaction. One leaked comment summed it up bluntly: he's pretending to be a heavyweight. That's not the same as being one. They didn't see danger, they saw openings, mistakes, predictable patterns. And that's why Joshua watched the video twice, back to back. Not because he was impressed, but because he was calculating.
The way got his sleep, all right,
okay.
and put Jake Paul to sleep. And I ain't taking nothing from Jake Paul. I'm just telling you, I respect the fact that Jake Paul is getting in the ring with somebody like Anthony Joshua. But I'm telling you, night.
Joshua is big, heavy puncher, but not as evasive. So I think if Jake has the right game plan, he has a pretty good shot of winning this fight.
Those close to Joshua said they could pinpoint the exact moment his mindset shifted. At first he watched casually, slightly amused. Then his body language changed. He leaned forward, eyes locked, expression dead calm. It wasn't the look of a man studying an opponent. It was the look of someone preparing to dismantle a fighter who doesn't grasp the level he's stepping into. And that's when the warning was born.
If this is a real, legitimate fight, Jake Paul is absolutely crazy. If not crazy, he's super brave. And it'll be interesting to see.
Joshua's no mercy message didn't come from emotion. It came from certainty. Those who know his career recognized the tone instantly. It matched the version of Joshua seen before the Klitschko war and again before the Ruiz rematch. A silent, locked-in mode where he becomes sharper, colder, and significantly more dangerous.
Huge risk. You know, it's a huge risk. You can't look away from it.
So when Joshua said, "I'm not here to entertain him. I'm here to hurt him," fans understood instantly. This wasn't promotional talk. Joshua never uses language like that unless he fully intends to act on it. Jake Paul's supporters suddenly went quiet. Analysts began highlighting the size gap, the experience disparity, and Joshua's knockout power. Even Jake's usual defenders started sounding worried. This wasn't Joshua selling a fight. This was Joshua signaling the...
Listen, Jake's a good novice. Jake's a good novice.
Oh, yeah.
And if he wanted to have a legitimate career in boxing, then he would climb the domestic rankings in America, and he might even make top 50.
Until now, he let Jake talk, post footage, and run the circus. But the moment Joshua delivered that warning, everything changed. He shifted into a different gear, one he rarely uses. And when Joshua reaches that level of focus, the outcome is never a decision win. It's a knockout, and usually a brutal one. Understood. Here's the same section rewritten properly. Firm, sharp, aggressive, fully connected paragraphs with no fragmentation. conversational and emotional, yet clean and powerful.
Place at a heavyweight, obviously. It's going to be 8 3-minute rounds. You might think, well, that's better for Jake Paul, and I'm thinking, not really. It's better for Anthony Joshua because he's just going to go all out for them 8 3-minute rounds. And imagine that.
What truly shocked the boxing world wasn't the warning. It was the rule sheet Joshua released immediately after. This wasn't a showpiece set of guidelines meant to sell a pay-per-view. This was the rule list of a man preparing for destruction, not entertainment.
Both fighters will be using 10-ounce gloves for the duration of the contest.
10-ounce gloves. 8 3-minute rounds. No headgear. Fully sanctioned. Everything on the page signaled real heavyweight boxing, not the softened crossover product Jake.
100 pounds versus 252 pounds. We got a 252 pounder in Anthony Joshua's
team expected. Then fans noticed the weight clause locking Joshua at 245 pounds, the exact weight he uses when he wants maximum knockout power. The version that breaks ribs, not pads.
I just want to see it because there's a lot of hate out here on influencer boxing. A lot of people have got different opinions on boxing these days. But I want to ask you, do you box?
Experts reacted instantly, and none of them sugarcoated a thing. They said the rules were engineered to suffocate Jake's chances. No safety nets. No loopholes. No gimmicks. Jake's edited training clip suddenly looked like a TikTok filter trying to cover up a serious problem. His team clearly thought they signed up for a spectacle, not a sanctioned beating by a former unified.
I think there's fear of injury in any sport, number one. Number two, I would say if you look at any boxing event on any given day, there's much larger mismatches than what this fight is.
When the rules went public, footage from Jake's camp revealed visible tension, forced smiles, stiff posture, and long, uneasy silences. Promoters began calling the matchup dangerous, reckless, even potentially career-ending. Analysts questioned how this was even approved. Through it all, Joshua stayed calm, too calm. Like a man who already knows how the fight ends. Jake isn't stepping into a ring. He's stepping into a controlled demolition.
It can happen in a variety of ways, various ways, but I'm not dependent on punch power, you know.
A professional heavyweight fight against an elite world champion in his prime. When I beat Anthony Joshua, every doubt will disappear. He's talking to you, Charlamagne.
Okay.
The panic around Jake's reaction isn't random. It's rooted in a clear pattern the boxing world has watched unfold for years. Jake hyped a fight with Gervonta Davis until things got serious. Then the energy vanished and the fight collapsed. He backed out of the first Joshua deal when AJ demanded real testing and no TKO clauses. Fighters don't panic over testing unless they have something to hide. Fans noticed. Jake is known for choosing safe opponents, retired fighters, undersized opponents, or guys inactive for years. Boxing tolerates it because it brings views, not because it earns respect.
They both earned a spectacular amount of money, and this will be likewise. But I think anybody expecting a good fight, I think they're looking at the wrong thing, because it ain't going to be a good fight.
Now Jake is locked into a sanctioned heavyweight fight with a man built for destruction, and Joshua's warning carries a different weight. This isn't a threat tossed into the air. It's a reminder that Jake has never been hit by a true heavyweight punch. He can't cancel. He can't pivot. He can't run. For the first time, he's stuck in a fight he doesn't know how to survive. Experts are calling it dangerous. Some are questioning if the fight should have been approved at all. Dana White called it a circus disguised as a real matchup. Trainers warned of long-term medical consequences, not just knockouts. And they weren't exaggerating.
10-ounce gloves, heavyweight, Jake Paul can punch hard, but do I think that's going to happen? Absolutely not.
Former fighters added more fuel, saying Jake has no business sharing a ring with someone of Joshua's caliber. These takes weren't emotional. They were grounded in lived experience. They've been hit by men like Joshua. They know the difference between a punch that hurts and a punch that rearranges your life. Behind the scenes, medical professionals reportedly raised quiet concerns about the mismatch. They've seen what happens when amateurs jump levels too quickly, and Jake is attempting to leap from shallow water into deep shark territory.
Jake Paul, Mike Tyson in November, but that fight was 8 2-minute rounds and 14-ounce gloves. Not similar if it's smaller gloves and 2-minute rounds. Who wrote this for the zone?
Then came the most unsettling detail. Industry insiders claim Jake only accepted the fight because he owes Netflix a bout after a massive upfront payment. Backing out again would destroy his brand. So now he's walking into a heavyweight furnace he cannot escape. And waiting for him is Anthony Joshua, focused, prepared, and openly promising to finish what he started.
Well, by the sounds of it, there's 50 million reasons why Anthony Joshua's taken this fight. In my head, I never ever thought this fight would happen. Why? Because of Anthony Joshua's desire to be in the history books, to be a 3-time heavyweight champion of the world. To me, it shows me his desire.
No mercy, no safety net, no illusions. When the bell rings, Jake Paul will experience the difference between pretending to be a boxer and facing a real one. What's leaking from Joshua's camp doesn't sound like normal preparation. It sounds like the opening chapter of a crime documentary. Insiders say this version of Joshua is the most destructive since his Klitschko preparation, and that alone should terrify Jake Paul.
Be the same for all of us, you know. Honestly, all of us, many of greats have walked it before. All of the undercard are going to walk it, I'm going to walk it. I'm going to feel just like any of them. But when I step into that ring, that's when I switch on, and I'm ready. So
members of Joshua's inner circle are saying things usually heard before revenge fights. One coach claimed Joshua wants to break Jake, literally, not metaphorically. Sparring partners have leaked stories, too, none of them comforting. Joshua is reportedly smashing legitimate heavyweights across the ring, men far bigger and far more durable than Jake. If they're being launched like debris in a storm, what does Jake think will happen to him?
And I just think fights like this just undermine it. They undermine those moments when terrible things do happen. Everybody wrings their hands. Why send in a guy like Anthony Joshua, a seasoned pro, against a guy that, I mean, I don't know. It leaves a really nasty taste in the mouth.
The danger isn't just physical, it's emotional. Joshua feels Jake has insulted boxing, not just him personally. To AJ, Jake is a man who turned boxing into a content machine, a cash grab, and a marketing playground. And now Jake wants to walk into a heavyweight ring and act like they're equals. That's the emotional trigger. Heavyweights with emotion involved are the most dangerous fighters in the sport. Even Jake's loudest fans have gone quiet as they realize this might not be a crossover event. It might be a disaster.
It's two completely different specimens in there. I can't see any version of reality where Jake Paul somehow finds a way to win one round, let alone win the fight.
Experts have added to the fear, describing Joshua's reaction as a predator finally noticing its prey. Analysts, fighters, and former champions all agree. Jake Paul picked a fight with the wrong man. Some are questioning whether Jake's career or even his long-term health is worth risking for clout or a contract. And the worst part? Joshua hasn't thrown a single punch yet. His reaction to a training clip and a rule sheet alone sent the internet into panic. What happens when the fight actually begins?
So I think AJ will struggle because it's an Owen situation. If he goes in there and Jake Paul lasts the distance, what does he tell you about AJ? Apart from he's just earned an extra 15 million quid.